Okay, in this video, we're going to give our lunar cruise ship the ability to move towards the moon. Now, you might be wondering, where is the lunar cruise ship? Well, if we full screen our preview here, we can see that the CompTIA Spark lunar cruise ship is sitting on Earth ready to blast off. Great, and we're trying to get to the moon. So how are we going to do that? Well, first I'm going to zoom in on these blocks a little bit so you can see what's going on in this project already. So here's what instructions have already been written in this program. This says when the green flag is clicked, we are going to make sure that we're looking at space. We are going to go to a certain position. You can see this is the starting position for the lunar cruise ship. And we're going to point the lunar cruise ship towards the moon. So that's all well and good, but if I press the green flag, nothing happens because there's no blocks or no instruction actually moving the lunar cruise ship towards the moon. That's what we're going to do now. So what do we want this part of the program to do? Really, at its most basic, we want to tell the program to move the cruise ship forward until it reaches the moon. Now this sounds simple, but we actually need to put it into instructions that the computer will understand. In computer terms, we first want to check, has the spaceship already arrived at the moon? If the answer to that question is yes, it has arrived, then we're good to go. Job well done. But if the answer is no, it hasn't arrived at the moon yet, then we want to move the spaceship forward a little bit. After that, we want to check again to see if we're at the moon, and if the answer is still no, move forward again. This is called a loop, repeating an action over and over again. There are three parts in what I just said, right? Moving forward, until, and reaching the moon. So let's talk about how Scratch understands those. First, moving forward. Scratch moves objects forward in what it calls steps. So we'll be using a block like this to tell Scratch to move our cruise ship. Since we don't actually know how many steps away the moon is, we can't just put in an exact number and call it a day. Instead, we have to go forward bit by bit until we reach the moon. So let's talk about until. This is a loop block that checks to see if a condition is true, and if not, repeats the actions inside of it until that changes. And lastly, we'll use a touching block like this to check if the cruise ship is touching the moon. Okay, and here's what this looks like when we put it all together. Repeat until the spaceship is touching the moon, and the things we want to repeat is moving the spaceship forward bit by bit, 2 steps at a time. Okay, now let's build it. Okay, the first block you need to add is the repeat until, and that is in the control section. So head on down to where you see repeat until, and drag that onto the main workspace here. Once you've done that, go to sensing, and get the touching mouse pointer block, and drag that into the dark orange space. You should see it snaps right in place, and we want to change from mouse pointer to moon. And lastly, we're going to go to the motion blocks, and we're going to drag the move block right in there, and change the 10 to 2. Now, if I press the green flag again, you can see that we have the same behavior that you saw last time. Alright, thanks for watching.